Good morning, Professor. My name is Ranjit Singh from the Group G. I'm going to introduce the case of Madam H and Master Ha, which was held in 2004. I'm going to cover the facts and also going to introducing the parties. In short, the case is that Master Ha and Madam H were dancing on one of the event where Master Ha hand slipped down the Madam H bag and he grabbed her buttocks and squeezed it. At that time, she cannot remain silent, so she decided to file a legal case against Master Ha. Firstly, I'm going to introduce the Master Ha character. Both are well reputed and hold a strong position. Master Ha is a trainer in Seoul, Korea. He immigrated to Canada in 1973 and taught there 3 years. He also opened school named Keys Taekwondo. His brother was also active in the sports session in the city of Vancouver, and his older son also opened school in Calgary. Moreover, he was also vice president of WTF Techwood Association of Canada. He coached the Canadian women team in many different countries like Spain, Greece, USA, and also other worlds. And he's having 3 children taking part in Taekwondo Association. Moreover, he also have the 8th and 9th and 10th belt. Now moving further, I'm going to introduce Madam H. Madam H is a 45-year-old single mother having 2 daughters of age 19 and 17. She is a supervisor of Senior Adult Association with Bell Canada. Moreover, she is also a deputy secretary of the Taekwondo Union of America and board members of Sport Quebec. She is having 2 daughters, in which one is referee and one is international competitor. In June 2001, she promoted herself as a senior candidate for the presidency of WTF Taekwondo Association of Canada. Moreover, she is a French spoken and also having the 7th Dan belt. As the event is organized, and it was the time when Madam H arrived at Foundation Hospitality at 8:30 p.m. and the master showed his appearance at 11 p.m. There was an open bar and a lot of food was serving to all the guests. Madam being a non-drinker, so she does not consume any alcohol, whereas Master has consumed some alcohol. As the event processed, Madam H was dancing with one of his fellow companions, and afterward he started dancing with Master. As the few 15 seconds passed, Madam saw that Master hands her fleece slipped down her back and he grabbed her butt and squeezed it. After that, she did not say any word to Master and immediately went back to his hotel, her own room. Now 2 weeks later, Madam is having conversation with Master's brothers under the company of Monsieur Beer. And later in the early morning, Michael Jabin approached her as the chairperson of committee and also vice president of Quebec Association. But in the noontime, an announcement was made by the Korean that she cannot be the chairperson and also the vice president as she was a non-Korean. Moreover, after that, there were a lot of evidence were taken of Gary Gilliam and AP, and after that letter to police also has been sent, and the same copy has been sent to the Mr. Quadrian main foundation of association. At the last, cost of around 7,500 has been made by the master, and the taxation which has to be given by the madam is still there.
My name is Harpreet Singh. I am here to discuss the reason behind the court holding. So let's start. To discuss the reason behind a court holding, it's important to consider a few factors. First one is legal principles. Court often base their decision on fundamental legal principles such as fairness, justice, and adherence to the rule of law. These principles guide the interpretation of statutes and the application of legal doctrines. And the second one is precedents. Courts rely on the previous decisions or precedents to maintain consistency and stability in the law. A court holding may be influenced by the prior ruling that establish legal standards or interpret similar issues. And the third one is statutory interpretation. If the case involves interpreting a statute, the court will examine the language of the statute, its legislative history, and its purpose. The court's holding will reflect its interpretation of how statute should be applied. And the fourth one is constitutional consideration. For cases involving constitutional issue, the court will consider how holding align with the constitutional principle and the right. This might involve balancing competing rights or assessing the constitution of certain actions. And the fifth one is policy consideration. Court may also consider broader policy implication of their decisions, such as impact on society or specific group. This can influence the court uh, reasons and the ultimate holding. Each each case will have its unique aspects, so the specific will vary depending on the legal issues and facts involved. If you have a particular case in mind, I can provide the more details analyzed based on those specifics. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Praneet Kaur. In this video I am going to talk about the issues that was in case. There are 5 issues. I am going to explain. The first issue is libel accusations. Nature of the accusations. Madam H is accused of making statements that Master H claims are false and damaging to his reputation. Specific content. Examination of the particular statement made by the Madam H are alleged to be defamatory. Then method of the dissemination, identification of how these statements were communicated, whether through written platforms, online platforms, or other media. Proof or reported harm. Master H evidence showing these statements have negatively impacted his personal reputation or professional standings. Next, defense against libel. Protection defense by the Madam H, including arguments that the statements are true, represent her opinion, or are otherwise protected under the law. The second issue is assault and battery claims. Description of the incident, detailed account of the events leading to the assault and battery claims, including the date, location, and circumstances of the issue. Detailed of injuries, information on the physical and emotional injuries that Madam H alleged to had suffered as a result of the incident. Spotting evidence and witness, testimonials from witness and physical evidence that supports Madam H allegations assault and battery. Next, third issue is Master H background in Taekwondo. Taekwondo credentials. Master H qualification and achievements in Taekwondo, including his 9th Denbach belt, and how this might impact the perceptions of the case. Next is impact of the martial arts skills. Consultation of whether Master H advanced material arts training was affected in the leg assault and how it influenced the legal analysis. Fourth issue is expansion of the Taekwondo schools, scope of business operations. The extent of Master H business, including the number and location of his Taekwondo schools across Canada. Next is business implication, analysis of how the allegations and ensuring legal battle might affect the operations, reputation, and success of Master H Taekwondo schools. Public perceptions and impact. Evaluation of how the case might influence public opinion of Master H and his martial art business. Next is complexity of legal proceedings, interrelated legal issues, exploiting of how the libel and assault and battery claims interest, communicating the legal proceedings. Next is range of the legal outcomes, possible legal remedies and outcomes, including the types of damage or injunctions that could be awarded, and overall impact on both parties. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Anil Palsan, and today I'm going to talk about applied rule of law and the decision which was made by court. First of all, the applied rule of law in this case revolves around the dose of assault and battery, as well as the principle governing the assessment of damage in such case. Here I'm going to talk about rule of law for assault and battery. First of all, battery occurs when there is intentional harmful or offensive contact with another person without their consent. That includes both direct physical contact and contact through an object. Moreover, assault occurs when there is an intentional act that causes another person to resolve reasonably fair, imminent, harmful for or offensive content. It doesn't necessarily require physical content. The mere threat of content can constitute assault. After that decision is by court, and the court found that the incident involves Master HS and HS action constituted battery, and specifically, and the court determined that Master HS international grasping and sequencing of Madam HS but stops amounted to offensive and harmful content established in battery. However, the court did not find the arm grasping incident too tedious, and as it leaked the necessary intent for battery. Therefore, no liability was established for the particular incident. After moving further, rule of law for damage. Damage of battery are intended to compensate and the victim for the harmful suffered. They may include general damage for the injury itself and aggravated damage if the circumstances were particularly humiliating and undignified. Punitive damage, on the other hand, are awarded to punish the defendant for egregious conduct and to deter other for similar behavior, and they are only awarded in a case of extreme. However, here I'm going to talk about a decision on damage which was made by court, and the court assisted $7,500 in general damage for battery incident involving the buttstock grasping, taking into account the humiliation and indignity suffered by Madam H. The court did not award punitive damage as it didn't find Master H's conductor to meet the extreme nature.
Hi, my name is Brinder Singh and my student ID is 4378734, and I am continuing with the factual backgrounds. And the case usually begins with the set of events or actions that leads to dispute. These can include breaches, contract, criminal acts, accident, etc. For example, in a criminal cases, this would be involves commission of a crime, subsequent investigation. Number 2, filing of complaints and petitions. The plaintiff or prosecutor in criminal cases files a formal complaint or petition in a court outlining the facts and legal basis of the cases. Pre-trial motions and discovery. Both parties are engaged in discovery, exchanging evidence and information. Pre-trial motions may be filed or to resolve procedural and substance issues before trial. The case is presented before the judge or jury. Both sides present evidence, call witness, and make legal judgment. After considering the evidence and arguments, the judge or jury delivers a verdict or judgment deciding the case based on the fact. Post-trial motion appeals. The losing party may file post-trial motion or appeal the judgment to the higher court, potentially leading or further legal procedures.
Case of Madam H versus Master He 2004 Saskatchewan court held long time in a court, and the court come to conclusion of the battery damages, which the sum came up to 7,500 given to Madam H due to the libel actions and the sexual harassment done by Master He on the occasion of a dance function which they both partaken in the workplace of the Taekwondo Association in Canada. Because of they having the relevant evidence and the statement in the first statement matching with the which states that Master He, for a sudden slip second, might have touched Madam H buttocks, and then suddenly he realized and came to senses and pulled his hand back. But the rest of statement grasping and doesn't doesn't have more of evidence, but still the court ruled the case, and it comes in the favor of the both, as Madam H got the sum of money of 7,500, and Master He was banished from the rest of the accuses, which was mental distress and anxiety, which doesn't add up to any sort of damages because she was unable to make this testimony and field. Also, such damages as complained by the Wallinson and United Grains Grover, the same case which the court has reflected, that state that they were unable to provide enough records, and they failed the testimony. Also, there might be some plaintiff motive swaying his Master He, because they both were running for the president, and the first 20 copies she sent was to the board of directors, which doesn't make sense because the first 20 copies should be sent to someone higher than the board of directors, because there might be some ulterior motives of the plaintiff to get up to the seat of president in the running by disfiguring or by disrespecting the Master He. So at the end, the court ruled, and it was a win-win in my opinion.